Hey everyone, we're just about to start. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be starting momentarily. Hey everyone, we're just... Okay. Chaim Tovim L'Shalom. Simman Taivu Mazel Time, Simman Taivu Mazel Time, Simman Taivu Mazel Time, Yeh Lanu. Simman Taivu Mazel Time, Simman Taivu Mazel Time, Simman Taivu Mazel Time, Yeh Lanu, Yeh Lanu, Ulechol Yisrael. Ulechol Yisrael, Amen. La 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 lo. Ay 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 lo. Ay 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 ay. Dearest friends, thank you all so very much for so many beautiful wishes and brachas, and the most beautiful amounts of love sent our way since our precious son was born this past Thursday evening, right behind this wall. And whatever I think I'm going to be able to say tonight, I'm already letting you all know that in my mind, it sounds like this. It's not coming out. And that's okay. It's all good. It's fine. I want to say a big mazel tov to my parents and my in-laws that are here learning with us tonight. And to all of you, wherever you are. This has been Hayinu Kecholmim. It's been one beautiful long dream that no one's planning on waking up from. Be'ezrat Hashem. Just keep on dreaming it up. And this is really every second that I'm here is very simply in the schut of my wife. So this is her schus. And I dafka want to sing this nigun to her before we speak a little bit about the experience of how we titled the shir tonight. What do you do? How do you meet part of your soul? This is one of the songs we sang right before our baby was born. Bum 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 bum. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. Bum bum bim bum bum bum. Bum bum bim bum bum. Bam bam bim da dee 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 dee. I die da die die die. Ahava soilam tavi lohem. Ahava soilam tavi lohem. Ahava soilam tavi lohem. Ahava soilam tavi lohem. Ubri salois lavonim tiskor. Ubri salois lavonim tiskor. Ay da 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 bum 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 bum. Bum bum bim bim bum bim. Bum bum bum. Di da 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 da. Ahava solam tavi lohem. Ahava solam tavi lohem. Ahava solam tavi lohem. Ahava solam tavi lohem. Uvri salois lavonim tiskor. Uvri salois lavonim tiskor. Ay da 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 ay 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 da 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 do 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 da 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 ay ahava solam tavi lohem. Ahava solam tavi lohem. Ahava solam tavi lohem. Ahava solam Hashem Tavi Lo. You ever go through a roller coaster of emotions where on the one hand you feel such an urgency to fix the whole world and to clean up all the schmutz in the whole world and to purify the whole world, and unless it's completely fixed and purified, it's like filthy and schmutzig, right? So it's, when those of you that have been blessed with having a child, and Be'ezer Hashem, those of you that haven't yet will be, you get a sense of you want to run around with a broom everywhere, spiritually, and I guess for the females a bit more tachlis, materialistically as well, and you just want to clean up everything. Like Meir Banai screams, Geshem, red kvar Geshem, ki tzarich lishtof hakol. Everything has to get washed away. So on the one hand, in our hearts, we're feeling that, I want the whole world to have their hearts open, and I have to do whatever I can to make sure everyone's heart's open in the whole world, because otherwise, who am I to bring a child into this world unless everyone's heart's going to be open? And I got to make sure he's never going to meet someone who has a closed heart. But on the other hand, there is no world. En olam. There's nothing. Just him. He's the whole world. So I bless him, and I want you to daven with me, if you don't mind, that a concept called everlasting love will be his girsa diyankusa, meaning his way of learning Aleph Beis, his way of understanding anything about the Ribono Shel Olam, is that just like we know that when you wake up in the morning, there's sun, Be'ez Hashem, when you go to sleep, there's dark, there's a moon, there's stars, on the same level of Metzius, on the same exact level, his experience of this world will be that the default is always Ve'ahavas Olam Ha'aftich, as a default, an everlasting love. I have loved you. And not just him, but you and I also. But in his heart, maybe. Die, die, die. Diddy, die, die. Diddy, do, do. Diddy, da, 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 dee, da, da, dee, die. Die, die, die. Da, da, dee. Diddy, die, die. Die, die, die. Do, 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 do. Die, 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 da, da, dee, die, die, die. Do, do, do. ואהבה סודה אהבתיך על כן משכתיך חסד ואהבה סודה אהבתיך על כן משכתיך חסד ehodi yamushu ve'hagevos temutena vechazdi meitech lo yamush ehodi yamushu ve'hagevos temutena vechazdi meitech lo yamush. An everlasting love, I have loved you, for this I have drawn you with my love. An everlasting love, I have loved Since I have drawn you with my love, the mountains will crumble and the hillside will fade away, but my love for you will not end. The mountains will crumble and the hillside will fade away, but my love for you will not end. Sing with me. Da 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 do 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 do. Oh yo do do do. Oh yo da 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 do do do. Oh yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah. Oh yeah. Da 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 da. Oh yeah yeah. I was looking around this farm today to try to find words to what I'm feeling. I was trying to see one of the tzaddikim speaking about this hargasha, this feeling that's so powerful, and yet as loud as it is, it's also so calm and it's so peaceful. And I'll tell you the truth that I couldn't find anything anywhere in this farm that we have about what this hargasha is and what children are bringing into the world. And I remembered that Reb Shlomo spoke about this. He also was looking everywhere. He said that he never understood why there wasn't a Masechet called Masechet Yeladim. We have a tractate and everything. Shabbos, Pesach, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, but we don't have a Masechta, we don't have a tractate that goes into the ins and outs of how to be in touch with children. And he said, because that's Mashiach's Masechta. That's Mashiach's Masechta. It's not from this world. But more and more, the way that we're understanding the world is that we understand that it used to be that a child comes into the world and we have to make sure we're ready to give over to them whatever we're supposed to give over to them. And it's so clear, at least by my chevra and people I'm speaking to, that our children are our greatest teachers. Our greatest teachers. At the bris of a dear friend of ours, Rabbi Psachia Futterman, this was the early 90s in New York. Shlomo was doing the bris, and in the beginning of the bris, right as the whole tech of the ceremony was starting, there was a tumult, there was some kind of hafra'ah, there was some kind of interruption. I don't know what it was exactly. And you see on the video that Shlomo gets really angry. And he says, friends, as much as I don't judge anybody, and everyone knew that he was the last person to ever judge anybody. He said, I do judge people by one way. And that is, how much respect do they have for children? That's how I judge people. Based on that. How much respect do we have for children? And whenever since hearing that line, and I heard it as I was becoming an Abba, that has been for me a very high level to attempt to constantly embody and live up to. It's a beautiful Torah, but it doesn't make life easy. It makes it that much more intense. But Gewalt doesn't make life that much more meaningful and that much more worthwhile. I was blessed to be raised in a home where there's respect. There was so much respect for children and for children's dreams and motivation for children's dreams. And the home that Am Yisrael Kulo is hopefully trying to build as one big bite is that we respect the child that we see within each other. But on a very tachlis l'maisa level, I I have had such a very funny time feeling that right now, it's like I walked into a shiur, since I'm holding my son in my arms, where now I'll start to understand all these different things about life. I feel like now I'll understand any of the nigunim that I have or any of the gifts that are in my life. It's a very bizarre feeling. It's mamash afuch al afuch. It's so upside down. So I kept on looking to see which of the Rebbeim were speaking about this. And after remembering that Reb Shlomo said, you're not going to find it in the Sfarim because this is Mashiach's Torah. So I remembered a teaching of his that I wanted to share. And it's really just 2 paragraphs. Now I am broadcasting this off my phone, so I don't have the ability to put up text right now. And everything's kind of been last second. But just stay with me for a bit. Reb Shlomo says that Hashem gave each and every one of us, you, me, and our son that was just born, all the light in the world. We already had it before we were born. And every child has light from one corner of the world to the next, right? We know deep down inside exactly what we're supposed to be doing in this world. And it's not information that was given to us on a word level. We actually don't have words for it. But it's a da'at, it's a level of knowledge that we know. We know deep down inside. I've shared with you, Chaver, many times how I've had the privilege of having some very special discussions with my Rosh Yeshiva of Bravender, where when you come to him with questions that you have, you realize he never answers you. He just has a way to ask certain questions based on your question that you have to get you to the place that you answer your own shaylas. Because a real teacher is someone that believes that each person deep down inside, they know the answers to the questions of their life. It's really believing that Hashem Yisbarach knew exactly what he was doing when he gave each person their own pekelach. So Reb Shlomo says that each person, there's a level of that, they know exactly what they're supposed to do. And all we have to do as parents is either not get in the way or much deeper, and that's to simply help them be in touch with that which they already know. I know I'm speaking pretty out there, but can you blame me? Like tonight I can't, tonight's got to be out there. I'm going to read from inside. After a person's born, then God gives us parents and teachers who will hopefully give us words for this light. But you know what happened in the last few generations? Maybe it's been happening since history began. The society of our civilization has very little to do with the light which we already have. So many people are so schizophrenic because we don't know what to do with ourselves. The world, the establishment, is tearing apart the light that God gave us, and we don't know what to do with ourselves anymore. But something beautiful is happening. There is a voice from Yerushalayim that's beginning to wake up, realizing that we need a completely different kind of world, different type of relationship between parents and children, between teachers and students. Now listen to this next line. This is the dagger. We need a kind of education which basically doesn't teach our children anything new. It just gives them the words to what they already know. It gives them the words to what they already know. Remember we said before, they come into this world with a certain level of da'at, of deep, deep, passionate da'at. They know, deep down inside, our children know. They know so clearly. They know what they're here to do. But like the Zohar HaKadosh says, the first cry of the child is saying, what am I doing here? And the second cry of the child is, how come no one was able to answer my first cry? And I was saying at the Shalom Zachar that I pray that in the schus of our son, we'll hear what the cry is. We'll actually be able to tell people and maybe give an answer to either the first or the second question. To give the children the words to what we already know. It's such an amazing thing. And it's almost like the more we try to give over to them that which we think they need, because that's what society and establishment has established in the world, the more that we say, they need to know this, they need to know that, really, in the emes of all emes, it's so clear that, and I learned this from my friend Miriam Futterman when she came to meet our firstborn, Tiferet. Tiferet's, Be'ezer Hashem, she's going to be bat mitzvah this year. When she came to meet Tiferet, she didn't, grab her and say, oh, coochie, coochie, coo, like, oh, what dimples, or what it was none of that. I'll never forget it. I never saw anyone do this. She grabbed Tiferet, and she just went like this. She held her, and she said, I just want to feel you, sweetheart. I just want to feel you. I just want to get a hargasha. I just want to feel. Now, of course, those are people that are much more in tune with energy, have an easier time doing that. But the kid in us is still crying, can someone hold me and not try to analyze me, but just feel me? Feel what I'm about. Can you get a sense, anyone out there? Do you see really me? Do you believe that I have the da'at to know what I'm supposed to do in this world? And the only reason why Hashem put us in the same world is that we could help each other with words to that which we already know. So I don't know exactly what a school like that looks like. I don't know what a curriculum like that looks like, where you have to give over a certain level of knowledge that's not really information knowledge, but it's just direction knowledge of, it seems to me, sometimes you meet someone and they make you so happy. You can't figure out why, but it's because you feel a little bit less lonely in the world. You feel like that person is also here looking for the same thing. How do I get back to the root of what I was sent down here to do? And right now there's this shtickle elokus, there's this little piece of God that's upstairs with his mommy right now. And as terrifying as it is, to chas v'shalom imagine that we're going to forget that he's really our greatest Rebbe. There's a tremendous sense of a ratzon to do tshuva, b'simcha. That's what we're really feeling this week. There's a tremendous sense of saying, wow, it really can be. It really can be that maybe we could get it right this time. Perhaps now we can get it right this time. And getting it right this time doesn't mean that we crack a certain code at all. It doesn't mean that I finally learn a new language that's just meant for them. I don't know exactly what it means, but I believe so strongly. And I've spoken about this with other people as well. These children that are being born in this generation right now, Erev Yantiv Geula, Erev Yantiv the Geula. It's the last round of the tikkunim after Auschwitz and after all these milchamot that Am Yisrael has had. It's the last round of breaking down all illusions in the world of what's considered covered and what's not. Because if it's the greatest honor in your life to respect a baby and respect a child, you are definitely in the right zone. If that's what you long for, to see how much better you could do that, then Baruch Hashem, that's very promising. That's very, very, very promising. So I want to give us all a bracha to be excited for the next time we have an opportunity. Just imagine if you knew that a big Rav or a big Rebbe was going to come and sleep in your home. What wouldn't you do to set the beds and prepare foods and prepare the greatest vort? So al achas ka v'chama, a million times over. Is there an excitement towards the opportunity to respect these shtickle elokus, these small pieces of the Ribono Shel? And the more that we respect that, the more that we also respect that part in ourselves that's absolutely untouched. No matter what we've been through in this world as neshamas and bodies, there is a place inside of each and every one of us that is still untouched, and children bring that out from us, and they me'orer it, they awaken it. So let me ask you, friends, who's here to teach who? Who's here to teach who? V'heishiv lev avot al banim, v'lev banim al avotam. This is Eliyahu Hanavi. This is why Eliyahu Malach HaBris, Eliyahu Hanavi comes to every bris, because he's the one that's standing there and saying, you think it's a mitzvah on you, like it's your inyan, and that you're doing something so amazing. This baby is presenting to you the greatest opportunity to do such a mitzvah. Who's teaching who? Who's teaching who? It's exciting. It's exhilarating. And with every child that we meet and choose to respect, we're meeting a deeper and more beautiful part of our own neshama. So may this talk, may this way of sharing and talk be the norm. May Be'ezer Hashem, the way that we just understand, and Baruch Shalom has given us the bombas of the COVID, to do a tikkun on COVID, on kavod, right? Maybe it's just for I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna choose to think that. So one of my first nigun I wrote with my brother, and I've waited a long time to sing this nigun and think about myself. Nothing short of it. Thank you, dearest friends. We'll see you later in the week. Bezrat Hashem. Laila Tov, Mazel Tov, everyone. Mazel Tov, Ribono Shel Olam.